Thanks, Bill. Good morning. It's great to be back to share the latest on Unreal Engine. Over the last few releases, the feedback we've heard most from studios is make it fast, make it stable. So we've been focused on exactly that, performance. Take 5.7. We improved performance by up to 25% on the GPU and up to 35% on the CPU, giving you smoother frame rates. Today, we're releasing Unreal Engine 5.8, which is all about building on that momentum to give you more headroom, fewer hitches, and less friction between an idea and what you can actually ship. A big part of 5.8 is maturity. Systems that were experimental or beta in previous releases are now crossing the line into production readiness. The headliner is megalights. Thousands of dynamic shadow casting lights and area lights in a scene at a fixed cost. What used to be a performance lift becomes a creative tool. Artists can light with fewer compromises, and teams can spend less time budgeting every dynamic light. Around it, LiveLink Hub, Movie Render Graph, Chaos Cloud authoring through data flow, Audio Insights, and Iris are production ready too. We also made it simpler to scale to the different platforms. Lumen, our dynamic global illumination system, now has a lightweight mode called Lumen Light, designed to preserve much of the visual impact at a significantly lower GPU cost. That makes Lumen viable where it wasn't before, including on Switch 2. And that work is already helping drive further nanite optimization efforts for the platform. Now, let's talk about something every developer in this room has felt. Yeah, the hitch, the frame spike, the long shader compile. The moment your game pauses and you wonder where all that time went. A huge part of that problem is shaders. So we've sharpened the compiler and improved deduplication to strip out redundant work. Less to compile, less to load, less getting in your way. In Fortnite, that work combined with content changes contributed to a 68% reduction in shader count. Faster cooks, faster loads, lighter memory. Jason and John's talk tomorrow goes deep on how they got there. But shaders are only half the story. The other half is pipeline state objects, or PSOs. A PSO is the bundle the GPU needs to draw an effect. Shaders, blend modes, render state, all of it. Miss one at runtime, and the driver has to assemble and compile it on the spot. That's your hitch. And those are the bugs that are notoriously hard to hunt. Luckily, we have just the guy to do it. So in 5.8, we've improved PSO pre-caching. Fallback rendering is far less visible while PSOs are still compiling. And the whole system is easier to tune, debug, and profile. These are not flashy changes, but if you've been chasing itches, you'll feel the difference the first time you boot. And we're not done. We're working with Microsoft and hardware partners on advanced shader delivery, a DirectX 12 initiative that allows us to ship pre-compiled shaders to players, moving more shader work out of the player's runtime experience. The rollout is ramping, and we'll let you know more about this soon. Now, here's a brand new experimental feature we're shipping in 5.8, mesh terrain. We wanted to move beyond the limits of height map-based landscapes where every point can only move in one direction, and the fixed grid means you can't adjust the resolution to add detail or optimize areas. Mesh terrain is a new way to author complex terrain without being locked to a height field. And it's more than just a mesh. It's partitioned for collaborative workflows, supports world partition streaming, and is designed to scale across platforms using the same source assets while tuning the runtime representation for each platform using Nanite when available. With mesh terrain, you have full 3D manipulation capabilities. Overhangs, tunnels, floating islands, shapes you simply couldn't build before. And because it's mesh-based, you can also control tessellation at the triangle level. That means adding detail exactly where it matters while saving memory and performance where it doesn't. As you'd expect, you can paint material layers, but also additional attributes, and it supports virtual texture with automatic UV generation. Mesh Terrain uses non-destructive modifiers and procedural tooling, so iteration becomes dramatically easier. Everything can be layered, reordered, combined, and adjusted at any point in time, so you can literally move mountains. It also works natively with PCG and comes with an expanded modeling toolset. But best of all, in our ongoing Fortnite optimization efforts, Mesh Terrain has a smaller memory footprint and runs faster than Landscape. Higher quality, lighter costs, more creative and technical freedom. That's Mesh Terrain. Another big focus of 5.8 is helping you go faster from idea to result. Performance capture has matured to scale from one operator at a desk to a full mocap stage with control over every recording device on set, including video. And we're taking that further. Earlier this year, Meshcapade joined Epic, bringing world-leading technology for markerless motion capture from video. We've already started integrating it into the ecosystem, and today we are releasing the MetaHuman Animator markerless motion capture plugin on Fab. You can drive a character's body, face, and hands from regular video. No suits, no markers, video in, animation out. For animators pursuing feature quality work, this is our most significant animation release yet. We've made high-end animation workflows more interactive, more intuitive, and more connected to the creative process. From sculpting directly on stylized rigs, to controls that live on the character itself, to a simplified timeline that keeps you focused on the performance. These are the same tools our animation team uses every day, and now they're available to everyone, and we're releasing the sample with 5.8. On the cinematic side, offline depth of field gets a major upgrade. We now render the blur the way a real camera makes it, by sampling the scene from multiple points across the lens. So you get physically accurate defocus, even on translucency and thin geometry. For productions working with ultra-high resolution media, the new tiled MIPMAP video format gives you compressed video that holds up at scale. It only decodes the tiles and MIP level your viewport actually needs, so you don't pay to process pixels no one is looking at. So that's the flyby. If any of this caught your ear, you can find deep dive sessions in the Unreal Fest app. And if 5.8 is about reducing friction across the engine, there's one more place we're starting to do that: how people interact with the editor itself.